All right, guys, welcome to the first Cutting the Distance podcast. I'm here joined by my co-host, Brandon Ledoux. This is going to be a weekly podcast. We're going to start filming for you guys. We're looking forward to it. I think it's going to be fun. We actually just got done filming the first podcast, and we realized that we were just talking to ourselves pretty much the whole time because it wasn't recording. So we're filming again.
Yeah.
So we're going to start by introducing ourselves. So I'm going to let Brandon take it away.
All right, guys. So obviously, name's Brandon. Christian said that about 16 times. Grew up in a small town. We both grew up in New York, and let me just tell you, I wish we grew up in Iowa, but we can't change that now. You want me to? We'll just go right into talking about how we got into hunting here.
Yeah, go ahead.
So when I was about 8 or 9, I'd say, I went out hunting the first time. It was probably squirrel hunting or something small. And then obviously, as a young kid, squirrel hunting is fun, but we had to move on to bigger and better things, which would be deer hunting, which was where I got hooked on everything. Shot it the first year I could hunt, and it was opening day, and it was right before dark, and I shot the biggest buck that I've shot for a long time until a couple of years ago. I was hooked, and I never got that one mounted, but I wish I did. My grandpa got me into it really big. I went out with my dad a little bit, but mostly it was my grandpa who got me into it. Turkey hunting, that was my dad's friend. He would take me out, and the first time he took me out, I didn't even want to wake up to go, but my dad made me, and I'm happy he did, because I'll always go turkey hunting. It's awesome. Waterfowl hunting, something that you really have to know somebody to get into. I feel like unless you live obviously in Arkansas or somewhere.
Yeah, it's a super expensive hobby.
Yeah.
I mean, hunting in general is super expensive, but buying those decoys, that adds up
And
fast.
blinds.
Yeah.
But yeah, my brother, he got into duck and goose hunting. Well, mostly duck, and then from there I kind of took over on it and got our missing friend here, Nick, into it pretty big. And
That's something we forgot to mention is we're gonna have another co-host weekly. Our buddy Nick Klausner. He's been in a couple of the videos, but he's gonna be here hopefully every week. He's got some personal stuff going on this week, so he wasn't able to make it. But you can look forward to seeing Nick on the podcast weeks to come.
Yeah. Long story short, I'm glad how I grew up about hunting. It's definitely switched. I'm not the hunter I used to be of going out during gun season. That's it. And just that. But I got
now it's pretty much the opposite for
Yeah.
us. We go out only during. I mean, I gun hunt a little bit more, but
yeah.
I mean, I definitely bow hunt the most. But.
Yeah. I got into bow hunting kind of by myself. My dad bought me my first bow. It was a Hoyt. It was just a little used bow. Shot a lot of deer with that. I still have that bow. I like that bow. A lot of buck. Nothing huge, but a lot of buck with that bow. First time I got hooked on that, I missed. It was the biggest buck out of the bunch. It was during the rut, and it was the first year I could hunt by myself, and I'll never forget it. I walked into the back of the orchard, and I watched a little buck chase a doe, and all of a sudden it was like a buck frenzy. Like literally every buck from the county came out. No, but there was 3 pretty big deer that came out, and the biggest one was the last one, and I got him to stop. He was 30 yards away, but I missed him 3 times. I mean, I don't know why he stood there and looked at me for 3 shots, but it definitely got me hooked. And the next year, I think I killed a 4-point. Or no, my first bow buck was a spike. I shot in the back of the orchard in a ground blind, and I heart shot it. It was my best shot with a bow, first one, 5 yards
Shocker.
away. Yeah, seriously. 5 yards away, and he ran 50 yards, and I got to watch him tip over, and I'll never forget, I called my dad on my little track phone, and I was like, Dad, I just shot a buck. And he's like, no, you didn't. And I was like, okay, come on down, check it out. And then asked me why I shot a spike. All right, Madola, let's hear yours.
So I got in hunting when I was 8 years old. I was introduced to it by my uncle. Don't have a huge hunting family, but my uncle, he's a pretty avid hunter. So he got me into it. Went out for the first time opening day of rifle season here in New York. And I just fell in love with it instantly. I was so fascinated by everything. The guns, I thought that was cool. And hanging out with the guys, them laughing, having a great time, having lunch together, all that, the camaraderie and just being in a tree and watching animals and how they acted in their natural habitat. I just thought all that stuff was so cool. And I think the first time I went, we saw a spike and a couple does. And then the second time I went, we went out the day after. My uncle shot a really nice 8-point, and that was just so cool. I thought that was the coolest thing ever.
Yeah.
But so that's how I got introduced into deer hunting. Bow hunting, I just kind of kept going, rifle hunting, and I'd always see him come back from bow season. I'm like, man, you guys go bow hunting a lot. I want to go, because they'd always talk about how many deer they see, and you see way more deer archery hunting than you do during rifle season. So
100%.
I got a bow. I actually borrowed a Matthews bow from a family friend, and I killed my first deer with it. It was a little 3-point, and that was it was awesome. And I think that's really what got me hooked into bow hunting. Is it's so much harder. I love that you see more deer, and it's just much more of a connection to the animal, I feel like,
Yeah. If you don't, I don't know. That's what, kind of like the video we filmed where I missed that buck and then we never found that doe. Like, I kind of look at it and I'm like, man, when I laughed, I hope everybody wasn't like,
looks like your mic's about to fall out here.
oh, God.
We're gonna have to cut this out. Hopefully that was filming the whole time.
Anywho, I had to have Daddy Madola fix my mic for me. What the hell was I talking about? When we shot that doe and stuff.
You shot a doe?
Well, shot a doe.
Oh, you're talking about this year?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Brandon doesn't kill does at his grandpa's house.
No.
Where he hunts, so I was kind of confused what he was talking about.
No, but like what you were saying about the connection with the animals.
Oh, yep.
I watched the Hunter X podcast not watched it, but listened to it on my way to Florida during the rut. Thanks, Tyler. They're talking about it, and they said it so perfectly. It was like they don't understand why they love the deer so much, but they also love the hunt of it. Like
right.
The hunt.
Yeah, I think that's the thing that gets me too.
Yeah.
Just the preparation, buying new gear, testing out your new gear. Like, it's just all leading up to that moment where you actually kill a deer.
Yeah. I mean, it's been 3 years since I killed a buck, and this year I shot that buck, and it was like the first time all over again. Like, I sat in the tree and I literally have it on camera and was like, I think I'm about to pass out. Right after I got off the phone with you, I thought I was going to pass out.
Yeah, it's such a crazy adrenaline rush. When I first killed that deer with my bow, it was such a powerful connection, I would say, I had to that animal, because I spined it and I walked up to it and I had to finish it off. I put another arrow in it, and I was such a little kid, and just watching that animal pass was like, had a really big impact on me, and it just made me want to make sure I always get the most out of an animal. and you're taking something else's life. Some people might say that's dumb. It's just a deer, but it's much more than that. And especially us now getting more into the trail cameras and trying to kill a specific deer versus just going out there and trying to get lucky. Just seeing those deer and all the camera pictures you have of them, and once you finally kill them, you're like, wow,
Yeah. And it's funny because it's like all these anti-hunters and stuff. I feel like we care more for the deer than
seriously.
they do.
Yeah,
100%. Like I don't doubt it. Like these guys are spraying shit in their yard to keep the deer away. We're
literally
putting food plots
in.
out to feed the deer.
Yep.
Not even to kill. Like, I mean, what? We both killed one deer this year.
Mm-hmm.
That did nothing.
And it's crazy, the amount of money we spend and the amount of time we spend hunting deer, and it's nuts to only go out. If you think about it, I literally, the only time I spend money is if it is to buy something for hunting, or like that's it. That's the only time I buy myself anything, is if it's related to hunting. And to spend all that money throughout the year to kill one deer, it's crazy to think about, but it's so worth it, dude.
It is. It is.
It
is something that I'll never, like, this will never get old.
Right.
Ever.
No, I don't think so either. All right, let's get into why we started doing this YouTube thing.
All right. So as Christian said earlier, we kind of already did this, so it's pretty funny because now I'm just thinking about actually how we met and stuff. So we both worked at Valet. I played football with him. He was from a different school, but we both worked.
So we played football against each other.
Yeah. We worked at Valet, and the first time that I met Christian, he asked me for a pinch of chew, and I told him that I didn't have any. I don't know why I didn't have any that day, which is odd. But I think the next time we worked together, I asked him for a pinch of chew, and he's like, yeah, man, I just bought some. Go up to his truck, and it's Skull Peach. And I got a pretty good idea of how Christian was. I know. That was funny. I don't know. I just, Skull Peach and just Skull Berry.
Oh, man.
God.
The first time we talked about this, the original one we filmed, it was way funnier.
Yeah, it was hilarious. But
it sucks.
No, if you could just think about, like, I don't know, somebody that, like, I mean, I chewed like a lot of chew. Like,
not anymore.
No, I don't chew anymore.
But you used to.
Yeah. It was just funny to be like, yeah, I got some Skull Peach. Like,
Skull Peach, the holiday flavors.
Ew.
I don't do it anymore.
No.
I've upgraded to the On pouches.
Yeah,
cinnamon tastes like Big Red bubble gum, man. It's so good.
I vape now. It's probably like the worst thing that I could ever do.
You get your douche flute.
Yeah. Let's see. So after that, then we started to talk more at work. Talked about hunting, and then I think we went turkey hunting for the first time. That's the first time we went hunting together. And kind of went from there, and we've been friends ever since.
Yeah, we talked about starting a YouTube channel for a while, and it's just kind of like, I don't know, we always talked about it, but we never did it,
Yeah.
We did make this YouTube channel, 2 years ago, I think.
Yeah, we made it.
And that's when we made it, and a year went by, and we didn't do anything with it, We just talked so much shit about doing it, but we never did it. And then I've always had this camera, but Brandon ended up buying a camera, and we got into it, and we spent a lot of money on camera gear, and our footage isn't even that great. I mean, it's all right.
It's not great, but
it's not bad.
Getting easier. It's way easier than it is the first time I set up that camera gear, and I'll tell you what. Talking on the camera the first time during that what was that? What is that stuff that we did?
Oh, Deception Sense. Yeah.
I was so nervous, but now I don't even care, just because it's so much fun.
Yeah, no, we're having a blast doing this. So much fun. So.
Yeah, so we started the Instagram, and then we went straight to the. Well, we started the Instagram for about a year, I'd say, and then we went rabbit hunting one day with our buddy Tyler, and I don't know what happened, but I just texted him. I was like, I'm gonna get the Instagram going, and he's like, all right, we're gonna do the YouTube too then.
Yeah, Instagram's been such a powerful platform
Yeah.
for us. As far as growing our channel, we only have 130 subscribers, but 130 subscribers came from YouTube. I mean, Instagram.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, he would usually do the YouTube stuff. I mean, we edit our own videos just because it's fun.
Yeah.
But he does the YouTube stuff. He keeps up on that, and then we both kind of do the Instagram thing together. It's definitely fun.
Yeah, I keep up with all our sponsors.
Yeah. Tethered.
Yeah,
No,
we
just
got
kidding.
quite a few.
Don't
No,
come at
we
me.
got no sponsors, all right?
Don't come at me, Tether. I don't want you.
But yeah, Brandon uses Hawk products.
Yeah, Hawk. You know where I am.
Yikes, dude.
No, I'm getting a Latitude saddle, dude. I'm telling you, that is the next big thing.
Yeah, so let's get into our style of hunting.
All right. So I think I've had my saddle for about 2 years. I will say the Hawk sticks, they're not good. I would, if I had a kid, I would throw them in the trash if they tried to use them because they are so dangerous.
Yeah, no, they suck. I actually, quick side note, those Hawk sticks. Last year, I was pulling down a tree stand, and I had to pull down all my stands at the end of the season, and I used Nick. Nick has Hawk sticks as well. I used them to get up to that tree, and the thing slid down the tree from the top and then went sideways, and I jumped and held onto the tree. This shit was crazy.
Oh my God. No.
Garbage product, dude.
I will say though, the saddle has been nothing but good for me.
Yeah.
I don't, if you were getting into saddle hunting, honestly, people, I follow this forum on Facebook, and everybody talks shit about Hawk. And I'm telling you right now, if you're getting in the saddle hunting, buy the Hawk one.
I think it's a good beginner,
Yeah.
entry level product.
Yeah, it definitely is.
If you're not sure if that's something you're going to want to do or not, it's not a bad idea to spend a little bit of money and try it out.
I mean, I'm excited to get the Latitude. It's not even that much money, dude. I think I looked down there and it was like $300 for the one I want, which is not bad. That's a deer stand.
And if you think about it, that's several deer stands.
Yeah.
The way we hunt, that's.
Yeah. We're mobile. Kind of like how I grew up was you sit in the ladder stand or you sit on the ground.
Yep.
You don't move that ladder stand. These are the good spots that they have been all year, which some of those stands are good spots.
And that's more of the traditional way of hunting.
Yeah.
I'd say people put up their stands and they're there for years after years.
Yeah.
And they just stay there and you hunt them and you don't change anything up. And I just don't know if that's the best way to be successful. I don't think it is, because the deer, you're hunting a new deer every year around here anyways, for the most part.
Yeah.
The deer age class around here doesn't get much older than 3.5,
Yeah, I mean,
4.5-year-olds and 5.5-year-olds, they're here, but they're
They're
few and far between.
they're giants to us.
They are.
I mean, I have that one 3.5-year-old and two 4.5-year-olds in my camera from my parents' property.
Yeah.
And when I saw those two deer, it was like, I didn't see the two in person, but I did see that big 6-point, that 3.5-year-old. And I looked at that deer and was like, I want to kill that deer. And I hunted that deer hard.
Yep.
And saw him one other time, and that's it.
Yeah, this year, we hang a lot of cameras too. I think I had 20 cameras out this year, and that might not be a lot to some people, but for the average hunter, that's a lot of cameras.
That's a lot.
And I probably had 5 or 6 3.5-year-olds that I would have shot, and the buck I did end up killing this year that we made the video about, that was one of our target bucks. It was not the deer I thought it was, but
That deer is That deer was probably one of the coolest deer I've ever seen.
Yeah,
Killed.
the horns were pretty neat.
Yeah.
And I am getting it mounted. My biggest archery buck, and I've decided, that I'm just gonna get every one of my next greatest bucks mounted.
I listened to this podcast, and it's funny you say that. It's like, it was Hunter X podcast. I've listened to those guys all the time. The one guy was like, he doesn't shoot. So say if he shot a 130, which is a giant deer for us, like not giant, but that's a big deer.
Yeah, that's pretty much what the big deer around
Yeah.
here are.
Yeah, and then the monsters are that 160s.
Yeah,
like
140s,
170s,
160s, and somewhere.
I
around.
mean, you if you see a 160, 170 around here,
yeah, that's
everybody sees that deer.
exactly. Everybody knows about it. If there's a big deer in this town,
Yeah.
everybody's gonna know about it.
We had that buck Goliath up there.
Oh
I
yeah,
mean,
last year we had a giant deer. He was absolutely incredible, and me and Nick actually. So we got pictures of him in the beginning of the season, and he was like a ghost. We only had
Yeah.
a couple pictures of him early season, and me and Nick were pulling cameras at the end of the year, the last day of bow. No, 2 days before bow season. We're pulling our cameras, and Nick was like, "Christian, there's a giant deer right there. He's bedded down with a doe." And it was him. Well, I'm like, Nick, that's him. We named him Goliath because he was just enormous. He ended up getting killed during rifle season by the neighbor, and I didn't get to go up there and see him, but I heard that it was just incredible.
Yeah, that was by far the biggest. I mean, I didn't get to see him in person. Well, actually,
I think he ended up having 23 scoreable points.
That's
Something
insane.
like that.
That's insane.
Yeah,
and the
he-
mass on that deer, I bet you couldn't even fit your hand.
Oh my gosh, dude. Just seeing a deer like that in person, I don't think I will, unless in New York on, free range land, even private land, I don't think I'll ever see a deer that big again.
Do you remember driving up there? It was cold. It was at nighttime.
We were spotlighting, right?
Yeah, and it was on the left-hand side.
Yeah, I
past that one
remember
house.
that
Do you
deer.
think that was him?
I do.
I mean, then I saw him. That was the
Yeah,
biggest
we
deer I've
we
ever
went
seen.
we went out there spotlighting. I think it was a couple days before the rut started getting
Yeah.
hot, and just we could see him through. It was foggy,
Fog,
yeah, and it was just so cool seeing that
He
deer in
was
the fog.
huge,
Yeah,
dude.
it's such a giant deer.
I mean, it's hard to say. Like, I personally, okay, there's if it's your first year, shoot that little deer. If it's not your first year and you're going out there for meat, like I honestly though, Facebook posts like the New York Antlered page Facebook post gets me every year because it's either like some people are like legit, like they'll take pictures of these bucks and these basket plots, and it's like I just saw 164 killed with a drop tine.
Oh, I saw that
Yeah.
picture. Yeah,
And then there's like I just saw this guy and he's like I can't eat the antlers and stuff like that. I'll never forget the last little deer, I mean little, like Spike, that I shot. And I walked up to, like, I was legitimately like sad, like why did I just do this? Like,
Yeah.
I felt bad.
it's that's a tough topic, because some people are raised, they feed their family and they count on wild game they kill as well as what they raise at their houses. But I personally, if I need meat, I'm gonna kill a mature deer. It's gonna be
Yeah.
a mature doe or a mature buck.
Well, they actually did that thing where it was like they stuck like a mature doe and a 4-point right next to each other, and the 4-point could literally sit inside the doe.
Yeah, I mean, when we say mature deer, we're talking 3.5-year-old
Yeah.
doe. We're not talking 5.5-year-old deer. Those, for the most part, don't really exist around here.
No,
They're here, but
The does might get there. The
Yeah,
does definitely
yeah.
get there more
Yeah.
often than the buck do.
yep.
I mean, I will say that I have been seeing more big deer.
Yeah, I think our generation's getting more into the letting them walk and getting bigger. I think that's becoming more of a thing, and it's becoming more popular to kill bigger deer.
So the DEC just came out with this thing, and I was reading it. 33% of the buck killed were over 2.5 years old. 33%.
Is that supposed to be good?
No.
I
No.
was gonna say
No.
I couldn't tell where you were going here because
No, I'm
that does
saying
not
that-
sound good. That is bad.
Yeah.
70% of the deer around here killed are under 3.5 years old.
Yes.
Mostly 4 points.
Yeah.
Maybe Basket Rack 8 points if they got good genetics. You know.
Yeah.
That's crazy. That's terrible.
And I can't say, I mean, the buck that I shot was 2.5 years old.
Yeah.
But that was a nice 2.5.
Don't worry, we gave Brandon a spanking. for
I know
that.
they did. But guess what? I was happy with it, and
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, that's all that matters, you know. And that's the thing, again, back to this whole topic, let them grow or not. I think if it gets you going,
Yes.
it gets you excited, that's why you do it. So kill it, you know.
It's like turkey hunting, though. Like,
If a little kid's going out and they kill a buck, like my first year was a button buck, and I was ecstatic. I wanted to show that thing off to everybody.
Yeah.
And that is what it is all about, you know.
yeah.
So kids, you know, nobody could ever get mad at a kid or
For
even an
killing-
adult for killing their first deer.
No, I would never. I remember actually my neighbor. He
It's,
did.
like I said, it's just such a fine line
Yeah.
topic, you know.
Yeah.
It's just such a hairy topic to talk about.
My neighbor has never gone bow hunting before. He's older than me, not much. He's probably 30 or something like that. And he doesn't hunt around me, or else I would be pissed. But no, he shot a 4-point, and he was ecstatic with it. Like, he was so happy for himself. And I was like, dude, good for you. Like, if you, like, honestly, any buck killed with a bow is something to be proud of.
No, yeah, it's super hard. We're kind of getting off topic.
All
here.
right, so
let's
let's go.
get back into you know, how we hunt.
All right, so we're more of like that.
The mobile hunter.
Yeah,
you know?
the mobile hunter, like,
So, I personally, I like to hunt out of a more of a traditional tree stand, kind of mobile run and gun setup. I run an XOP tree stand. We did a video about that, so we won't get into that too much. But I hang a lot of hang-ons for morning sits, so I'm not walking out there in the dark and trying to set everything up. We do hunt private land, so when we say we're running gun, we're just moving to different spots versus buying 30 tree stands and hanging them all up. I think I bought, 6 or 7 this year, and I had those spread out for morning sits. So we have trees picked out that we sit in. We go up, climb up into them, so it's not like we're going in blind. But yeah, that's pretty much how we hunt. We hunt a very vast land, you know.
yeah.
I hunt, and Brandon hunts with me sometimes, but I'm hunting a dairy farm, and it's just land everywhere, you know, thousands of acres of land
Yeah.
spread across different plots, and that's something that leads to our success, you know.
Yeah, I mean, we've both been holding out for decent bucks. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, every year I at least have 2 or 3 encounters with big deer, and deer that I have on trail camera. Last year I had 2 encounters with deer. One of them I messed up, and that's my fault. You only get so many chances. And the next deer I shot, and I never found him. And I talked about that in our mobile hunting video too, and I'm blaming that one on the Rage Broadhead.
Yeah, those things suck.
They do.
You couldn't pay me to use those broadheads. You couldn't pay me to use a mechanical broadhead.
Yeah, I used to love the idea of them.
I actually
hate them now. I lost 2 deer, and I'm blaming it on that and my arrow setup.
Yeah.
I watch a lot of the Outdoor Channel, so I watch The Crush with Lee and Tiffany and Drury Outdoors, and they shoot Rage Broadheads, right? Those guys, fantastic shooters. They've been doing this stuff for years. They are not getting passed through on deer.
Yeah.
That doesn't make sense to me.
You
A
need
professional shooter not getting a pass through on a deer.
Yeah, you don't need it, but I'm going to tell you right now, it makes a world of difference.
Yeah, if you're shooting a large animal with a blade the thickness of your fingernail, like,
Yeah.
I don't know why I ever thought that was a good idea.
No, the broadheads that we're using now, I don't care what brand it is, are way better.
Yeah, seriously, we're shooting cut-on contacts this year, and Shout out to the Ranch Fairy.
Yeah,
Definitely
seriously.
convinced me to build a heavier arrow. But yeah, this year I built an arrow. It's 200 grains heavier than what I was shooting last year, and made a huge difference. Even just target practice, and I can see in the target how much more penetration I'm getting with a heavier arrow. Much slower, but much more energy on target.
I think my arrow setup was only 150 grains more, but
Which what would have put you at a total of how many grains?
I can't remember.
400 something, right?
Yeah, it was like, was it 480?
I think so. Close to
Yeah.
500, and I think I was at 550 grains.
I like that close to 500.
Yeah.
I think that's like
That's a good sweet
perfect-
spot for a
yeah.
whitetail. Yeah.
I mean, if you're Nick, oh my god. Nick's arrow is probably like 600 grains.
You think it's that much?
No, but it's a lot.
Yeah, it is.
It's a lot.
Nick, he spent a lot of money this year. He did. He bought a brand new bow. What kind of broadheads did he buy again?
Not cutthroats.
No,
Are
yeah,
No, not grizzly slicks. What are they? Iron wheels.
Iron Wills. That's right. Yeah, he spent a lot of money on those.
It was like $180 for broadheads.
I would say that he
alone.
probably spent $2,500 this year on arrow and bow setup.
I wasn't talking to him too long ago, and he said that.
Did we talk about Nick?
Yeah, we did.
We did. Okay.
Yeah, his bow alone with all the setup, it was like $1,700.
Yeah. Crazy.
Without
I mean,
arrows.
it's not crazy because that's how much
I mean,
this shit costs. But
Yeah, but still, like, I don't. That's just baffles me.
it adds up quick. You know, we spend countless numbers of dollars on hunting, and we were talking. It's crazy to spend as much money as we do to kill 2 deer a year.
Yeah.
Once rifle season hits here in New York in the area we hunt, good luck seeing a mature deer.
The only buck that I've seen was that one, and I almost shot it.
Yeah.
I'm almost happy that I didn't, because I would rather kill that deer next year.
After week 2, the deer have so much pressure on week 2 of rifle season. It's insane.
My trail cameras have gone dry.
Yeah.
No, I haven't gotten a buck on trail cameras since.
I'm still getting deer on camera, but it's at night.
Yeah.
Which is normal. That's what happens during rifle season around here. Deer go nocturnal real fast. But I was going out first week of rifle season, and I was hunting a spot that we hung a camera and a tree stand in early season. Never hunted there. Went there during rifle season because it was more of a gun spot anyways. And I saw 16 deer there one night. Next night I went out there, I saw 12. They were, various sized does and one little 8-point, and I saw a spike. And they're out there really consistently. I go out there last week, so 3 weeks into gun season now.
Mhm.
I saw 2 deer.
Oh my god.
And I was seeing these mass amounts of deer out there for 4 days straight. It's just crazy. The effect, the deer pressure. It's so hard to even kill a nice doe this time of year. We only got a couple days left of rifle season, too.
I'm happy about it.
Me too.
I can't wait.
I can't wait till turkey season,
I can't stand gun season. It's just something about it. It's like I like the atmosphere of it. I like that it gets everybody out there.
Yeah, I love the camaraderie.
But I could sit in a tree all bow season after one buck, okay? Opening day comes, that buck is probably gonna die if he does not move
Like
off that property.
I said, that 8-point that I was watching for a few days.
Oh yeah.
Week later, somebody killed it.
Yep.
It's,
Jimmy's dead.
Yeah. Brandon's got a deer he named Jimmy. It's a little spike.
He is the nicest deer. Other than his sister, dude, Jessica, if that deer dies, I'm going to cry. I just saw her last night. She's still alive. Hopefully people are getting the picture, like, why is this deer walking up to me right now?
Yeah,
Maybe
Brandon,
I shouldn't shoot it.
He's got some weird deer on his campus.
Dude, they don't care.
They're very
They don't give a shit.
Yeah, like you could get with it. We were sighting in our rifles for for deer season, and this doe, the brand named Jessica, is literally running around in the range, like just staring at us, and like 20 yards away. Too. Yeah, it was crazy.
She got pretty close last night. She walked up like 5 yards.
Yeah,
and just chilling, eating the grass. Next year I'm gonna grab her and tackle her and put a collar on her.
You should.
A shock collar. As soon as I see her crossing the line, I'm just gonna shock her.
Yeah. So yeah, we don't really hunt public land.
Never. I've never. I've
been on public land one time for turkeys just to check it out, and I'll never do it again.
No.
It was loaded with cars, and not something I want to do. Not something I don't want to get shot. The way we hunt turkeys is we do a lot of run and gun. We're walking and driving until we see or hear something.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna hunt a bird unless he's talking.
Yeah,
Brandon's got a saying, if he ain't talking, I ain't walking.
And I learned that from the guy that took me turkey hunting, and I'll live by it. If they ain't a talking, I ain't a walking.
Yeah, if it's just not, number one, it's not as fun, and if I'm not having fun, it's not worth it. So.
Yeah.
Did we get into why we started YouTube?
Yep.
Yeah. We talked about how we started YouTube. We didn't talk about why we're doing it. I don't think.
All right, so you tell us.
So I'm gonna tell the viewers why we're doing it. So we started doing the YouTube. It's just why we're doing it. It's because it's fun. We're having a blast doing this, and it's awesome to harvest the memories as well. Like the video of the deer I shot this year, I'll have that forever.
Yeah.
And to pair that with a deer mount, it's just another way to, what's the word I'm looking for? Show appreciation, to the animal,
Yeah. I mean,
it means a lot to us to kill a deer. So
it's funny because like before we started this, we would like take our phones and on Snapchat and be like, hey guys, welcome back to the channel. It's October 25th. We're out here hunting crabby. Like that. It was so funny, but now it is like, I love it. Like even self-filming to me is like something that I'm like, this is awesome.
It adds another challenge too,
Yeah.
It makes it even harder, as if killing a big deer is not hard enough.
I don't know. I just... And it's funny because, like, if we would have done this last year when Nick didn't have all this stuff going on, like, we would be, like, you guys would think we were the funniest people. Nick fell in this creek last year.
Oh, my gosh. This story is incredible.
We hunted this grass.
Should we tell it without him here?
No, we're not going to. That's a cliffhanger for him.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Stay tuned until next week. We're going to talk about this story. Hilarious. This story is the funniest shit I have ever experienced with these guys. And we have some funny stories. Like this year, Brandon was talking about my climbing sticks, and I actually fell out of a tree this year. Let's go there first. Yeah, I fell out of a tree, and Nick just stared at me as I'm laying on the ground. We were hanging our stands for the morning sits, and I'm up in this tree stand, and it's a big game tree stand. It only had one strap, and I was like, I thought it was weird because normally they come with two, and I was like, maybe it's a new design or something. So I climb up in this stand. I go to turn around to tell Nick what branches to cut, and the bottom of the stand kicked out, and I fell 15 feet out of a tree straight on my face. And it hurt so bad. And Nick's just staring at me. And I got lucky. I wasn't wearing a safety harness. I should have been. I do now. And, so that was quite a scary experience.
Tell this story, and then we'll be good, I guess.
Yeah, we'll call it good.
Christian's 6'2". I'm 5'9", 5'10" on a good day. He made these 8ers. Good design, but so when I step down to go from the 8er to a step, my knee is like in my chin. Whereas his is like perfect for him. So like I'm climbing down, it's pitch dark. You look up and this dude's just shining his spotlight or his headlamp down in your eyes,
my
and
gosh.
he's just dying laughing. He's like, yeah, I put that reflective tape on there so you could see it, as you can't see shit.
Because I got my light in your eyes.
And he's just laughing, and me and Nick, I haven't seen Nick go down him.
Nick's even shorter than you.
And I bet
he
you
has
it's
a
pretty
hard
comical.
time. He's sweating bullets getting
Yeah.
down and up those things.
Oh.
And these guys don't like heights. I mean,
No.
I shouldn't like heights, especially if they're falling on a tree, but I get pretty ballsy up in those trees, and it's bad, you know.
Yeah.
It's a bad thing. I need to be more careful. But I wear a safety harness, every time now.
Yeah.
Now.
Now, anyways. Well, it was a good first one.
Well, Brandon, you didn't even get to the
What?
punch line of that story. You almost fell out of the tree.
Oh, you're talking about that. I see. Whenever I think about that, I think about the time that you told me to shoot that 40-pound doe.
Oh, yeah.
No.
It's bigger than that.
Yeah.
Maybe 50 pounds.
Well, we set up in a tree, and I'm like, I'm pretty sure this tree's dead, dude. And he's like, no, it's not.
Oh,
He's like, there's
quick
leaves
side
on it.
note. The ash trees around here.
Oh, yeah,
They're
they're
the
dead.
best trees to be in. They're nice and straight. The diamond pattern bark, it's great for locking in the teeth biting on your products. But they're all dying, and it sucks.
Yeah.
But that's what we were in. We were in an ash tree.
Yeah. Well, he's like, no, it's not, dude. And I was like, okay, well, there's no leaves on this tree. And he looks up, and we both look up, and it is bare. I mean, if
This
there was
thing was dead.
if there was a little bit of wind, we would probably have tipped over.
Yeah. I mean, it wasn't that
No,
dead.
it was
but,
bad, though.
A branch could have fallen on
Yeah.
us super easy.
So, long story short, like we sit there, we see some deer, go to get down, and for some reason, I thought it'd be a great idea to grab the dead branch. And as I'm stepping to the from the aider to the next stick, and I started to go backwards, and I am so thankful I grabbed that tree.
Ugh.
But I look up, and there's Madolo dying laughing.
I thought that was the funniest thing ever. You almost fell out of that tree. I could not help
It's
myself.
so dangerous, though. There's just like that guy from Ithaca that just got
Yeah.
super fucked up.
Yep. Paralyzed.
That's bad. Like that is. I feel
it's
bad.
too easy to get
Yeah.
hurt. So make sure you guys are always wearing your safety harnesses. They're uncomfortable, but if you get a good one, I got a Summit one. They're not bad at all. I
No.
don't even notice mine's on. So, but I think that's it. I think
Yeah.
that we're gonna call it a podcast for the week. For those of you who stayed to the end, we appreciate you watching. We hope that you subscribe to our channel and like this video. And we'll be back next week. We're not exactly sure what next week's topic is. We got a list of things we're going to talk about week after week. So we're going to have some guests on here eventually. But yeah, this was a good time. And we're looking forward to seeing you guys on the next one. So thanks for watching, guys.